The Church's Stand on Disability Rights. An online conversation anchored by Patience AGWP on Saturday, the 23rd of September 2023 with Reverend Father Ugochukwu Ugwoke as the guest speaker. Being the fifth educative online session convened by the Sterling Inclusive Education and Development Initiative, CEDI, the topic captured the interest of the audience present, making the session one of the most engaging so far. Out of 59 participants, 4 individuals passionate about inclusive rights made valid contributions to what the speaker had to say. Here are the points to note about the meeting. Points by Father Ugochukwu. The Church draws her teaching from the mission of Jesus Christ, which respects the dignity and worth of every human being, including persons with disabilities. They all deserve to be treated with love and respect. Churches can develop aiding materials like graphics, interpreters, ramps and other disability aids. But only few churches consider this. Churches can also separate those with disabilities to have a unique mass/service. The Church and public institutions should work towards creating access in their building structures so people with disabilities can easily come in and participate in the liturgy. Mr. Timothy A.J. added that the Nigerian Catholic Church can help persons with disabilities in the following ways. Accessibility. Ensure that church facilities are wheelchair accessible, with ramps and accessible restrooms, making it easier for individuals with mobility impairments to participate in church activities. Inclusive worship. Offer inclusive worship services that cater to the needs of persons with disabilities, such as sign language interpreters for the deaf or visually impaired, friendly materials. Pastoral care. Provide pastoral support for individuals with disabilities and their families, addressing their spiritual and emotional needs. Education and awareness. Educate the church community about disability issues to foster understanding, acceptance, and inclusion. Special ministries. Establish support groups specifically for persons with disabilities to create a sense of belonging and community. Skills development. Offer training and skills development programs to empower individuals with disabilities to live more independent lives. Advocacy. Advocate for the rights and inclusion of persons with disabilities within the broader society, including policies that promote accessibility and equal opportunities. Financial support. Provide financial assistance on medical expenses, assistive devices and rehabilitation services for those in need. Volunteer opportunities. Encourage church members to volunteer their time and skills in assisting persons with disabilities within and outside the church community. Partnerships. Collaborate with local disability organizations and government agencies to leverage resources and expertise in supporting persons with disabilities. Listening to Mr. Theophilus Odadu, who is a Catholic and a person with disability. The Catholic Church has so far not put in the necessary effort to ensure the proper inclusion of persons with disabilities in the Church. A lot of persons with disabilities no longer attend the Holy Mass due to a plethora of reasons that has poverty and exclusion as the overarching reasons. Because they have been sidelined in their places of worship, and even if there are few other inclusive worship centers, they will prefer to stay back home and not go through that stress as a result of distance. The cliché of limited resources being the major reason has always been laid forward, but the reality is that funding is not the problem, but lack of interest as a reasonable adjustments for persons with disabilities is not so much an issue but political will. Some prayer groups in the Church often see those with disabilities as possessed individuals in need of healing, and usually erroneously begin to cast and bind in a dehumanizing manner that leaves persons with disabilities with no choice but to stay away from such embarrassing situations. Sadly, some priests who are PWDs suffer same fate in the Nigerian context. Reverend Father Onulade added, the CEDI team should pay an advocacy visit to the Catholic Secretariat of Nigeria or Catholic Caritas Foundation of Nigeria, advocating for the inclusion of persons with disabilities to understand and participate in the liturgy fully without reservations or discrimination. Advocate for development of policies aimed at protecting the rights and well-being of individuals with disabilities in the Church and to ensure every church comply. Sensitization and awareness drive with a view to promote the rights of persons with disabilities. Mercy Ngunen mentioned that The policy and action of an inclusive society has proven successful in the Diocese of Boko, Benue State. Currently, plans are being made to see how this is replicated in other parishes of Boko and other dioceses in Benue State, Nigeria. Action points. Advocacy visit to the CEO of Caritas and Secretary General of Catholic Secretariat of Nigeria to be led by CD team. The CD team will work towards providing a simplified version of the 2018 National Disability Act to the general public. Addressing the Archdiocesan General Assembly, 2023. Follow our social media handles, subscribe to our YouTube channel and ensure to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on more.